Teaching reading comprehension can be a little difficult for all teachers, whether you are a novice teacher or whether you're a veteran teacher. So today we're going to talk about some ways in which you can make reading comprehension a little easier for your students. So without any further ado, we're going to jump right into this video. Hi, if you're new here, my name is LaWanda Shields with 2 Cute Classrooms, and this is my space for fellow teachers, homeschool moms, and or homeschool dads. And we are jumping into the video. An oldie but goodie when teaching reading concepts is using the KWL chart. You know, the K stands for what you know, the W is what you want to know, and L you do at the end is what you learn. May seem old-fashioned, out of date, but these really work well. And also, not just that, but all types of graphic organizers can be used to help your students as they're taking notes throughout the time you're reading the story, or you're going over the concept, or whatever it is that you're doing. And if you're teaching something complicated like Shakespeare to your students, then you may want to have them do the side notes. And what I like to do when I was teaching my older students and I was teaching like Shakespeare and those other things, I would buy those side-by-side novels, which had the original text on one side, and then they had the modern day version on the next side, so the students could understand what was actually going on. And using concepts like this, even when I taught upper elementary, or if you want to call it middle school, whatever you want to, you know, whatever, 5th and 6th grade, I was able to teach them Shakespeare at that age and have them actually enjoy it and understand it and know what was going on, because we put it in modern terms and we get some of them acted out, and we were related to things that they already knew. So we were activating prior knowledge, and we were using text that they understood. We were using real world connections. And that brings me to another concept. When you're teaching or trying to get your students to remember a reading concept, always use real world examples. If you can draw whatever this is back to something that's happening right now in society, then your students are definitely going to remember it a lot more than just giving them a dry text. Before we go any further into this video, be sure to give this video a like, a thumbs up, to subscribe, and to follow me for more teaching hacks. Now back to our video. Concept maps and story maps are also really, really good with getting your students to learn a concept. You use these the same way you would a graphic organizer, and you make sure you're highlighting and writing down the key points from your story. It may seem elementary, but it sure does work. And those are word splashes. After you taught a lesson, or really, I like to use these before, word splashes. There are various ways in which you can use word splashes that have nothing to do with elementary school. You can use this with your middle and high school students too, to activate prior knowledge, to get them thinking about what they've learned. And these are really, really great for getting your students to remember a concept in which you're trying to teach them. Research is showing that having your students write about what they've learned helps them to remember it better. So when they're writing down what they've learned, and I'm not just talking about taking notes as we go along, but after you finish the lesson, after you finish the story, or whatever it is that you were teaching your students, have them write a summary, have them retell you the story or re-explain the concept to you. Of course, with that one, I like to make my students get up and teach a lesson. I like for them to get up and teach me or the class what they've learned. And then you can really see what they've learned, because they have to stop and think about how they would present the lesson to a class. They have to come up with their own little lesson plans, whole wonderful things. So you have them write about it, have them teach a lesson, have them teach you or their classmates about the concept of whatever it is that you want them to do. Another thing that's been shown to work really well with getting students to remember concept is to have them draw. Have them draw what it is that you want them to remember, or what it is they're trying to tell you or teach you about that lesson. And I was reading an article about this, and if I'm not wrong, it's from Edtopia. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, where it talked about how drawing greatly impacted a student's remembrance of what they had learned. And they talked about how it is not just on one level. It covers all 3 levels of student learners. It covers the kinesthetic learner. It covers the visual learner. It covers the, I can't remember. It's not auditory, but it's another one. But it covers all those levels. And so your students are better able to remember what you have taught them by having them draw. So we did say, write it, teach it, draw it. We've talked about the graphic organizers. Another thing that's really good is to use those mnemonic cues, clues, or cues, or whatever you want to call it. But either way, you know, it's just like they have a clue or little words, a little catchphrases that remind them of a thing. I like to use is, you know, we talked about gallery walks, or I've talked about gallery walks before in some of my videos. You know, that's when you have the pictures lined up on the wall. You may have a statement or something that the students have to respond to. Those are really, really great for getting them to remember concepts. And if you don't want to do the gallery walk, you can do a slideshow that's similar to a gallery walk that does the same thing. You can show the students a picture, and then you can have them respond to the questions that you would have on your gallery walk at their desk. That minimizes walking, especially right now we have, you know, whatever it is we have going on or had going on. It'll hit you in a minute. But gallery walks, picture walks, you can do those however you want to, but those are really, really great for teaching reading comprehension. Again, this was 2 Cute Classrooms with LaWanda Shields teaching you some ways to improve your students' reading comprehension. Stay alert for a video on how to get your students to become better writers. I'll see you guys in the next video.